Here at the World Association of Traditional Chinese Veterinary Medicine, or WATCVM, we are also committed to helping veterinarians across the globe with becoming educated in the art and science of traditional Chinese veterinary medicine. These veterinarians will have the knowledge and the skill set to perform any required treatments. There are thousands of eager-to-learn students in these countries, yet the biggest challenge they encounter has to be the fundraising. So to help overcome this challenge, the wonderful people here at the WATCVM have set up the Dr. Stewart Rosenburg International Scholarship. We had the opportunity to sit down with Stewart's wife Gail, along with his good friend Dr. Gregory Todd, to discuss Stewart's passion, accomplishments, and contributions to TCVM.
So Dr. Stewart Rosenburg was my good friend. He was like a brother. Stu was certified through the International Veterinary Acupuncture Society and came to me to do his internship. And his internship never ended.
Stewart. He was a little fella, but powerful from the heart. If you were lucky enough for him to touch you just as a friend or a colleague, you were blessed. But if he touched you as a doctor and you were the patient, you had a touch of his heart. Stewart was the head veterinarian at Silver Springs in Ocala. Stu's passion, at 9 years old, he knew he wanted to be a veterinarian. He practiced for 20 years, so his passion was there completely. And he continued doing acupuncture in his own clinic till the very end. He was so passionate that sometimes he couldn't go into work, that patient would come to our front porch and get acupuncture. That's how passionate that man was.
One thing I can say about Stu, if I had to define Stu in a single word, it'd be passion. He was passionate about life, he was passionate about everything. He was one of the most giving people I've ever met. He treated thousands of patients. He would give you anything he had to improve your life. And he definitely believed in paying it forward. So he came to Chi and taught hundreds of students and was passionate about teaching students, was available to them, would give them his cell phone, his email, would have them come visit. He was more excited every day about the medicine and always trying to refine his skills.
As his time with Chi continued, Stewart's love and passion for education of TCVM grew. His love for the treatment of helpless animals was also transferring into the education of TCVM. Taoism
has a saying, do that needs to be done and don't do that doesn't need to be done, without thought for consequence or reward. And that was Stu. So all the things that Stu did, to see it culminate in having this honor given to him, he would be shocked. But he deserves it.
Tragically, Stewart was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer and ultimately passed away at the age of 46. He lived more than the average person would by traveling, enjoying life, and always paying it forward. During Stu's last days, Gail stayed by his side. With the help and support of colleagues, he lived out his last days the only way Stu knew how, and that was by helping his clients and his patients.
Those last days were really his best, if I think about it. That weekend before he passed, there were more colleagues, other veterinarians that would come and visit, and they were just like, no, he's in really good spirits. But that's what Stu's drive was, his spirit to, this isn't his end, he's gonna push it to the end. His last weekend, to the day before he passed, he was still there for his clients and his patients.
Right before his death, he was scheduled to go to China. He was very excited about that. He was going to speak for the first time in China. He was too sick to go. He wouldn't admit it. Matter of fact, Dr. Shea had to tell him he needed to stay home. He stayed home. Dr. Shea gave the lectures in his name and left his name on the lectures as a presenter, which was a huge honor. And it just goes to show you the type of person that he is. So that was a huge thing for me, to see my friend's name in China and know that that was a dream of his that became fulfilled.
Thanks for just keeping his dream alive. And this will do it even more. I don't think any of you would really realize the love that Stu had, the love of education has been there. The continuing education of him is perfect. And I think he would say thank you.
My uncle's a pilot, and he always said one of the greatest mistakes that pilots make when the plane's about to crash is they don't fly the plane all the way to the ground. And when I think about Stu, all I can say is he flew it all the way to the ground.
When someone tells you they touched me with my pet, that is a gift you can never repay. Dr. Shea and Dr. Todd has taught Stu that, so he is willing to teach it and give back.
In January 2014, a group of TCVM practitioners led by Dr. Todd created Stewart's project in memorial of his unfortunate passing. Initially, over $10,000 was raised to fund the scholarship to veterinary school faculty in developing countries. Going forward, Stewart's scholarship will help aid the prospective students with many financial burdens. Some of the costs include, but are not limited to, acupuncture course tuition, flights to on-site sessions, hotel costs, books and educational supplies, meals, and miscellaneous expenses totaling upwards of $12,000. The WATCVM's goal is to raise approximately $202,000, which breaks down into two categories. The first category is the Developing Countries Education Fund. $192,000 will be distributed to 16 veterinary school faculty from developing countries. These funds will aid them in learning the acupuncture to become a certified veterinary acupuncturist. The second category is the Veterinary School Curriculum Fund, where $10,000 will be split between 2 veterinary schools to set up acupuncture curriculum to advance the education of TCVM. After much consideration, the first recipient of the scholarship is Dr. Brashan Dash from Bangladesh. Dr. Dash has been an associate professor for over 15 years at Chittagong Veterinary and Animal Science University in Mushigaon, Bangladesh. In addition to his involvements in academics, his work includes clinical practice and clinical research.
Before coming here, I have no exposure at all. So after joining this program, in some cases I feel it's a magic treatment. I have received a scholarship for the acupuncture training program in Guangzhou. Without scholarship, I could not think to attend that program in Guangzhou class. So I think that scholarship is very useful for me to learn that acupuncture treatment in veterinary profession. Without financial support or scholarship, it will be difficult for me to attend or to complete the next 3 sessions to acquire a CVA practitioner. So I think if I get some fund, either my university or I can get any international funds, so it will be easy for me to be a CVA. I think that acupuncture knowledge at that moment, I feel it is very useful in the veterinary profession. I think that it has less complication regarding to surgical treatment as well as less expensive treatment, so it will be very useful, I think, in the developing country. As I am a teacher and working in a teaching veterinary hospital, I have lot of scopes to treat the different species like dog, cat, rabbit, even cattle and goat. So I think I can spread my knowledge to our students and as well as to give the support to our clinical case. So hopefully our patient and student will benefit from my knowledge. So I already have planned after return to my country, I'll give a feedback program to our university among the veterinary teachers, as well as I can arrange some seminar, workshop in different veterinary schools, as well as to arrange some program also internship students from different parts of Bangladesh.
Dr. Brashan Dash's story and future success stories will all be made possible by our caregivers. Caregivers like you, with pledges and donations starting at as little as $25. With your donation, you will be supporting veterinarians worldwide to become more successful and effective in their field. You will also be helping owners by healing their pets that provide them companionship and/or their farm animals that provide livelihood and income.
Stu's passion will still be there. Even though he has passed, his passion is going to be continued. It will be our job to make it in his honor.
As a veterinarian, I feel like I have no regrets. It's been a profession and a passion that I've loved, and it was one that Stu loved, and I'm glad that we shared that bond. I've been gifted with many wonderful teachers in my life in many different areas. Having those teachers enter my life and have developed a deeper tool chest for me, and I'm excited to see that tool chest passed on to other veterinarians, and that passion which can become infectious and spread throughout our profession.
For the veterinarians in the world, I think all of them have a gift. And I don't think any of them go into the field as for money. Money has never been their drive. So to be able to have a foundation that is willing to ask for people to help us, to get that donation, to bring a doctor here, and to be able to let them go back and continue educating someone else, they have touched at least one more. If you can touch one person today, why not? It all goes to a doctor, it goes to the education. They are all doctors here. They are all veterinarians. But now they're willing to educate themselves to the next level. And we all do bring in Eastern Western medicine. Even if you don't think about it, you are. So I asked you, please help us out. And that doctor will thank you for the rest of his life and his patients and clients as well.
Join us in our final installment, where we will discuss how you can partner with us in our mission to educate, heal, and change lives.